One thing you people must know about Nigerians, Then like person wey dey put pepper for their eyes. If you dey feel dey deal with Nigerians, you will be the most wonderful person on earth. Because do you know why I says that? Because Nigerian people, they reach where you go run for. Say, shey una don dey talk now, say we don't vote and happy we don't vote am. For Plateau State now, 21 people, night bandits don't carry put for ground. What about that family? The people will be say they collect all these people from their family, how they go feel. For more, una go watch the video and una go see wetin be say the Ecowas, now Ecowas they call it now. They don't decide say we baba we be say they una know in get security, but in say make them carry military go Niger. Now then say no, that one not go happen because we still get people who still love for Nigeria, and now we just dey thank God make this thing make them resolve and well.
Of a standby military force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Niger. Omar Traoré, the president of Ecowas, said the decision of the regional body to deploy troops in Niger does not translate to a country fighting another, while the president of Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Ouattara, stated after the meeting that the decision was taken collectively by member states and not a Nigerian affair, further describing the detention of ousted President Mohamed Bazoum by the military junta as an act of terrorism.
Keeping President Bazoum as a hostage, I personally consider this as a terrorist act, and we cannot let this continue. We have to act. The position of Côte d'Ivoire, which has been endorsed by all of the head of states, is that we have been able to tell these putschists that their place is in the barracks. They should go to fight the terrorists and not try to kidnap a democratically elected president.
Well, I was just saying that I haven't heard from Côte d'Ivoire in a while. I mean, 81-year-old Ouattara has spoken, and I do, agree with him that it is an act of, terrorism. But also, the president of Ecowas had, reiterated that they have been dialoguing and they have tried to maintain peace, and that Ecowas is not going against Ecowas citizens, or it's not an issue of fighting, a country or like Nigeria fighting Niger, but the fact that they have principles in place. So that's a big point. But Nigerians have reacted. Let me take Shehu Sani's tweet. He wrote, ECOWAS communique is contradictory, opting for dialogue as setting up a standby force. Our message to the leaders of West Africa is unambiguously clear. Do not drag us to war because of coup in Niger. Then also a statement that was credited to the president of Liberia has also been trending. I believe he made this statement back in 2021, which is quite relevant now. He wrote, as long as ECOWAS tolerates institutional coup that allows lifetime presidencies, there will always be military coup. And we cannot condemn military coup when we do not condemn those who carry out institutional coup. Well, another Twitter user there, Nefertiti, she wrote, ECOWAS deploying a standby force to invade Niger is laughable. Those coup plotters already consolidated their powers. The rebel who may be activated to dislodge them also came too late. A government has been formed. All the ECOWAS can do now is to embark on a face-saving mission. Yes, we know that on Wednesday, the military formed a 21-member cabinet. Some of them were coup leaders, and also we understand that there were a bunch of civilians in there. But I also wanted to touch on George Ware's statement. Ayo, if you can really touch on that, and then we can move forward.
All right, just to touch on that really quickly, very spot on what he said, institutional coups as opposed to military coups. And a number of guests we've had on the show have actually spoken to that. Mr. Femi Falana has also spoken to that matter, and a few other people have said that we cannot continue to condemn military coups when we promote institutional coups or internal coups, as it's called, where there's no adherence or respect of the Constitution, especially with regards to the number of years or the tenure or tenure elongation. President Ouattara, who was speaking just a few seconds ago, himself has been president since 2010. So he's been president of Côte d'Ivoire beyond the length of time. And so it's quite rich when they come for meetings like this at the Ecowas Summit and they're talking about, we have to kick against coups. And then you see lifetime president, life president, self-imposed life president in Africa, and you wonder why these coupists or military hunters are popular in this region. So if we're going to fix military coups, which is very important, if we're going to address it, we also have to and must speak to internal or what is now called institutional coups across the continent.
Dr. Bati, another conversation out there was the fact, like I mentioned earlier, we need to fix our country here, first of all. I mean, the conversation about security and all of that, some people have even brought up Asari Dokubo's video. I believe he did that last week, saying that he's going to go in there. He's actually seeking to take his military into Niger.
Look, what is on the table is that many Nigerians have spoken against Nigeria getting involved in any form of military action in Niger. Whether it's the Christian Association of Nigeria or the Arewa Consultative Forum, the Council of Ulamas of Nigeria. Afenifere just issued a statement also saying, look, we don't want to go to war. Concerned citizens, including Shehu Sani that you Senator Shehu Sani that you quoted, have all said they don't think it's a wise thing because of the likely consequences, the extent, nature of which we do not know. Because if there is retaliation on the part of those coupists in Niger, you don't know what they will do. And our people are on both sides of the border. Many Nigerians even have dual nationality. Only God knows how many Nigerians are also Nigerians. They will probably run into millions, almost as many as the entire population of Niger, perhaps, if a proper census is taken. So on the basis of that, Nigerians are saying, look, we have enough problems at home.
Yes.
And those are the problems you've pointed to by the report on killings in Plateau State.
Yes.
And that was the point being made by Professor Usman Yusuf, that look, we have Boko Haram inside Nigeria, we have banditry, we have kidnapping, we have more than enough. Just toe the line of dialogue. But of course, what happened, as I pointed out earlier on, you don't go into a negotiation by starting with the option of threat. So ECOWAS has now found itself in a very difficult situation. The second point about Nigerians is, what national interest are we pursuing?
That's the question out there.
Whose interest are we pursuing? We understand the principled position that ECOWAS is against military takeover, right? Okay, but what is the overriding national interest for Nigeria in committing troops? Our troops that are already overstretched. The 75 additional aircraft that Nigeria Air Force says they have just bought, they want to go and put those 75 additional aircraft at risk and our Super Tucano jets. And then we don't even know how long this will last. We may come back from that operation and our air fleet will be thoroughly depleted. So cost is also something to worry about. The third point, of course, is that the president keeps saying is acting on the basis of ECOWAS resolutions. And I was raising the point, is ECOWAS superior to the concern of average Nigerians? The Senate has said we don't approve. Is the president going to commit troops to something that the National Assembly of Nigeria has not approved in line with the Constitution of Nigeria? But on the whole, I agree with Senator Shehu Sani, and we had made the point earlier on this program, that the position of ECOWAS is contradictory.
Yes.
You say you are pursuing options of dialogue with people who say they don't want to listen to you. They don't even want to see anybody. And at the same time, you are saying we are going to send a standby force. ECOWAS does not even have a standby force.
That's it.
So these are the issues. And that's why I raised the question earlier on, is ECOWAS shadow boxing? This may well end up as a case of shadow boxing.
Well, all right. We'll take another story. Former governor of Kaduna State, who has been a subject of controversy after the National Assembly failed to approve his appointment as Minister of the Federal Republic, has reportedly withdrawn his interest in being part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's cabinet According to a report by Premium Times, El-Rufai told Tinubu at a meeting on Tuesday that he was no longer interested in becoming a minister, but will continue to contribute his quota to the development of Nigeria as a private citizen. He also told the president that he needed time to focus on his doctorate program at a university in the Netherlands. Rufai, you know, I mean, we did take that story a couple of weeks ago where I brought up that old video where President Tinubu, at the time he was campaigning, telling El-Rufai or begging El-Rufai to join his cabinet. But now, I mean, we can see that he has rejected the offer. I don't know what your thoughts are at this point.
Why the conundrum and the drama? And I'd like to also say something about Nigeria real quickly in passing.
Yes, sure.
But why the conundrum and the drama? So why make El-Rufai go through DSS screening initially, then go through the Senate, then try to defend himself in the Senate, then now go through another security screening and say, I don't want it?
I guess he didn't know they were going to send in that petition at the time. I think it's...
I mean, petition or no petition. The question is, why go through all those conundrums? Because the reason he's citing that is because he wants to go do his PhD in the Netherlands, based on the report. So if you want to go do your PhD in the Netherlands, why even take it in the first place? And I think this also just goes to show how the government has not really done a good job as regards its ministerial picks.
Yeah.
Because look at the drama. It's been one drama or the other. It's the late-minute drama of pushing Keyamo in. It's also the late-minute drama of these three people that ever... So is it that the security authority didn't screen them properly before?